Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. It's time for our chair yoga class. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. This morning, I've been thinking about how challenging it is for us to break habits. And we have habits that we like and habits that maybe don't serve us. And when we're trying to change those habits that don't serve us, sometimes it can be a real challenge. And the beautiful part of our yoga practice is that our yoga practice helps us to change habits in our bodies and also change habits in our minds as well. So I thought we would think about that this morning, but let's let our hands rest on our knees. You can see a couple friends on Instagram, but can't quite tell who it is, so welcome. Let's let our hands rest on our knees. We can close our eyes. Take a nice big long inhale. A nice long exhale. Just let your awareness settle there onto your breath. Let your breath grow a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. And as you're here and you're breathing, go ahead, set an intention, whatever you want to focus on for these next few minutes together. Whatever that is, hold it in the space of your heart and take a few more nice long breaths. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So let's start just by lifting our shoulders up by our ears and dropping them down. And lifting them up. And then dropping them down. And lifting them up. And dropping them down. This time let's lift our shoulders up and then bring them forward and just make big shoulder rolls around. And then we'll reverse that, lift them up, take them back and down and then forward. So big shoulder rolls to the back. And the next time we roll our shoulders down our back, let's just let them stay there and know that that's where they're meant to be. We talk about shoulder alignment a lot, but shoulder alignment is really important as to how we feel, how our neck feels, how our back feels. And it's one of those habits we were talking about, right? So we get in the habit when we're going through, quote, daily life off the mat of bringing the shoulders forward and playing on the phone and doing the computer and driving the car, whatever. And so that's a habit, an alignment habit. And we can counter that alignment habit when we come to yoga and take the shoulders back. But a big part of being able to counter the habit is to get the ability to move in that direction. And so if we're really tight across the front of our chest, we can't open up and we can't take our shoulders back. So we're going to open up our chest here in a minute. But first, let's just take the arms, reach them up to the sky, and then let them come all the way back down. So making some length in our spine, also warming up our shoulders. Inhaling up and all the way down. Let's do a few more. Inhale up and down. Again, inhale up and down. And last one, inhale up and all the way down. Let's take our arms straight out to the side. Just make little circles forwards, kind of like we did with our shoulders. But getting our shoulders a little more warmed up, little bitty circles. And then get a little bigger, and then a little bigger, and as big as they can go. And then we'll reverse big circles backwards. And let them get a little smaller, and a little smaller. And we'll go really small, and then we'll stop. Take the right arm across your chest, grab it above the elbow with the left hand. Take a couple breaths, sit up nice and tall. And then we'll try the other side, both arms out. Left arm across, grab above the elbow with the right hand, take a couple breaths. Don't worry if it takes you a second to figure this one out. I think this is the most challenging pose in all of yoga. All right, go ahead, shake that out. So we're talking about taking the shoulders back. That means we have to open up the front of our chest. So to do that, we've got a few different options. I'll turn sideways so you can see. And if you've been doing this chair yoga class, you know these options and you've done them before. So make sure that you're sitting forward on your chair. Option number one, of course, we're going to take our hands to opposite elbows, back behind our back, and that might feel like a big stretch across the front of your shoulders. If it does, stay just like that. If not, you can take the hands to the chair. If that feels okay, you can take the hands together. You can dial your elbows back, and maybe you can straighten your arms. And then you'll see why there's a few reasons why it's important to sit forward on the chair, but one of those is so that your hands have some space back here so that you can do this stretch. If you're in any of those positions, obviously if you're holding the chair, this will not work, but if you're in any of those positions and you want to join me with a forward fold, we'll lean forward and the hands can reach up even more. Let the head hang down, take a couple breaths. And then we'll inhale up and let the arms go and give them a wiggle. All right, so let's go ahead and stand up. And we'll take our chair today. You can just go behind your chair if you like, but I'm going to turn my chair so that the back is to all of you. And then step to the right side of the chair. So my hip is going to be right next to the chair, and then I'm going to take one step forward from there. So standing about 6 inches or so to the right side of the back of your chair. Keep that right leg, that leg that's next to the chair, next to the chair. The hand can go on the chair if you need it. Take a big step back with the left leg. Turn the left toes out. And we're going to try warrior two today. Standing warrior two. So that front leg's bending. You've got the chair behind you if you need it. Hips and shoulders are open to the side. If you don't need the chair, you can reach both arms out and then look back over your right hand. So we're here in this pose. We're doing a lot with our legs. We're bending through the front knee, nice strong back leg. But what are the shoulders doing, right? We still want them to go down and back. So let's all together flip our palms and get that shoulder roll that we were doing in the first place, but with the arms out to the side this time. Keep the shoulders down the back. Flip the hands back over. Hug the belly button in, maybe bend a little more through your front knee. Take a big breath. And then I can bring the hands down. If you need to grab the chair, grab the chair. Step the feet together, hands to the heart. And then we'll turn around the other way. So same thing, we're stepping to that left side of the chair, then taking another step forward so the chair ends up a little behind you. Got the chair if you need it with your left hand. Big step back with the right foot. Right toes turn out. Warrior two on our left side. Arms can reach out. If you still need the chair, got the chair, just work on that back arm. And then all together, let's do the same thing. Flip the palms, the shoulders roll down and back. Flip the hands back over, keep the shoulders, hug the low ribs in. Sometimes we tend, it's another habit, sometimes we tend to let the ribs flail out. Pull the ribs in, bend a little more through the front knee. Take a couple breaths. And then I can bring the arms down and step the feet together, hands to the heart. All right. I'm going to keep my chair backwards because why not? But let's come to that right side of the chair and we will balance today. Instead of doing our tree pose, since we're breaking habits today, and I love tree pose, but we'll just for effect, we'll not do that habit today. Let's do our hand to knee pose. So you've got the chair if you need it. The foot that's next to the chair is going to stay. Should be your left foot, I imagine. And we'll lift up the right leg and take the hand to the knee. So you've got the chair if you need it. If not, that arm can lift up. Be there for a moment. If you're feeling good, you can take the leg out to the side. Keep scooping your hip under so you don't end up like a dog on a fire hydrant. And then bring the leg back to the center. And maybe for a moment you can let go with both hands and we'll lower down. So again, you can keep the hand on the chair the whole time if you need it there. Coming over to the other side of the chair. Now the right foot's going to reach. You've got the chair if you need it. Lifting up that left leg. Again, if you want, you can lift the other arm up to the sky. If you're feeling good, we'll take the leg out to the side. And Maybe bring it back to the center. Maybe let both arms go. Then we'll lower it down. Give both legs a wiggle. Let's do our warrior twos one more time. So again, you should be with the back of the chair behind you. On the right side of the chair, one step forward. The foot that's next to the chair stays. Left foot steps back. Bend into that right knee, left toes turn out. Arms can reach out. If you still need the chair, you've got the chair. Hug the low ribs in. Take the shoulders down the back. This time you don't have to flip the palms, but just feel that feeling. Keep bending through that front knee. Take a couple breaths. And then lower the hands down. You got the chair if you need it. We'll step the feet together, hands to the heart. Turn around to the other side. Step in to the left side of the chair. And then another step forward. So left foot stays, right foot steps back. Grab the chair if you need it as you go. Reaching both arms out. Bend into that left knee. Shoulders roll down the back. Hug the lower ribs in. Take a couple breaths. Maybe imagine that you're a mighty warrior. And then arms can come down. Step the feet together, hands to the heart. And arms can come all the way down. All right, let's do our balance one more time before we sit down. So being on that right side of the chair, got the chair if you need it. Left foot roots, right leg lifts. Left arm to go up if that's happening for you today. Maybe that leg goes out to the side. And then maybe it comes back to the center. Maybe we reach both arms up. And then go ahead and lower down. Try the other side. Coming to the left side, right foot roots. Left leg lifts. Maybe the right arm lifts. You can take that leg out to the side. And bring it back to the center. Maybe lifting both arms up. And then go ahead and lower down. Give both legs a wiggle. All right, let's come to sit back down into our chair. Beautiful. All right, so we've been thinking about our shoulders a bit. Now, of course, we're going to include our hips. So let's do our favorite hip stretch. At least it's my favorite. Take that right ankle, cross it over the left knee. Make sure you're flexing the foot. As always, if you need to straighten out the lower leg and move the foot down somewhere, that's totally fine. Sit up nice and tall. Remember, this foot is flexed so our knee stays happy. If you're feeling good, you can lean forward, leading with your heart rather than your head. One of my favorite yoga metaphors. Take a few breaths. And then we'll sit up top. Uncross the legs. Give them a wiggle. Try the other side. Crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Flexing that foot. Again, if you need to straighten out the lower leg, that's totally fine. Sit up nice and tall. And we'll lean forward. Take a few breaths here. So thinking about breaking habits, and just habits in general, right? Like we said, there's some good habits that we like doing yoga or brushing our teeth. And then there's some things that we might want to change. One of my teachers, she says, are you in a rut or are you in a groove, right? Being in the groove is a lot different and feels good, but being in a rut, not so good. So we can think about those habits, and just like our shoulder alignment is a habit, we can work on changing them, but we have to make sure that we've got the flexibility in order to do that. All right, let's stretch our legs a little bit more. Let's turn to the right. Slide to the side so that this left leg can swing back and get the top of the foot on the floor. And then right hand on the back of the chair, left hand can be on the front of the chair if you need it. We'll lean back and stretch our thigh. If you're not getting enough stretch, you can take the leg back further, however that feels good. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll go ahead and sit up. Before we turn around, let's slide into our chair, reach both arms to the sky, and we'll have a twist. Turn in towards the back of your chair. Both hands can grab the chair, and you're looking towards the right, or you can look all the way around behind you. Take a couple breaths. You might even look all the way over your shoulder. And then we'll look back to the side, and we'll unwind. Let's turn to the left. So again, slide to the front a little bit so the right leg's free to move. Then we'll take the top of the foot to the floor. Left hand, grab the chair, right hand, grab the front. If you need more stretch, take the left foot back further, and we'll lean back, take a couple breaths. And then we can go ahead and sit up. Bring that foot back to the front, slide into the chair a little bit more, reach both arms to the sky, turn towards the back of the chair, grab in the back of the chair, maybe looking over the chair, looking all the way around behind you. Take a couple breaths. Every time you inhale, sit up taller, making that space for your twist. And then we'll look back towards the left, and then we'll unwind back towards the front. Let's take our feet a little wide and have a forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, reach towards the floor. Let your head hang down, take a few breaths. And then go ahead, walk the hands all the way back in. Take the feet a little wide, let's give ourselves a few hugs. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hug it in. Again, inhale it up. Opposite arm on top, hug it in. Inhale out, and hug it in. And again, inhale out, and hug it in. And then we'll bring the arms down. All right. Let's bring our hands to rest on our knees, just like we did at the beginning. And you can go ahead and close your eyes. Let's reconnect with our breath. Following the inhale flowing in, following the exhale flowing out. And as you're breathing here at the end of class, I want you to think for a minute with your breath and see if, as you're breathing in, if your stomach is expanding outward, and as you're exhaling, if your stomach is drawing inward. Sometimes we actually do the opposite, and that's an interesting habit that we have as human beings. But more often what happens is that our stomach doesn't move much at all, and we're just breathing into our upper chest. And so this is a great habit for us to change from a rut into a groove and start teaching ourselves to breathe fully all the way down into our stomach. So our diaphragm is moving downward and displacing our stomach as we breathe in, and then really drawing back in as we breathe out. The beautiful thing is that we can always change our habits, whatever they are, if they're not serving us. And we can cultivate our habits when they are. So think about that as you go through your life today, this week. How are my habits serving me? How are they not? What do I want to keep? What do I want to change? Let's bring our hands to touch at our heart. Whatever your intention was this morning, even if you forgot about it, even if it ended up making no sense with what I had us do today, that's okay. No judgment, but just check in with yourself, see how it went. And then most importantly, as always, take a moment and honor the light that exists within you, and thank yourself for coming to yoga this morning, and thank you all for being here with me as well. And I honor the light within you and within all beings. Namaste. Yay! Hello everyone. I hope you had a good time. Hi Mom. Alright. Well, everyone have a good day today, and I will see you all again really soon. And we'll say aloha. Namaste.